What excites you about O, what she can bring to you guys, especially now that you need a point guard so badly right now?
I think her efficiency in the two-man game. She's been really good in the two-man her whole career. Her ability to get downhill and to make plays for herself and others, to knock down shots, her speed and quickness with the ball in her hands. All things that we need, and she'll be a great addition.
You feel better at implementing players mid-season with how many times you guys have had to work through it this
Yeah,
year?
it is what it is at this point, and particularly when you're talking about a point guard. Really making sure that we focus in on the high-level usage things that we'll use when she's on the floor, and getting her up to speed on not just what we do offensively, but what we do defensively. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Our group is really good about how we help one another out and how they help one another out on the floor. So she's ready to go.
Breaking the schedule this week allows for what for this team now?
Number one, rest. I think just coming off of what we came off of on the West Coast, and number two, an opportunity now with the added player to really go through all of our stuff to make sure that we can really implement all of our things and address some slippage in practice. It was nice to be able to get on the floor to actually practice today and address some of those areas on the defensive end as well. So rest, recovery, and fine-tune some things.
What's the added benefit of having a player like Odyssey? It's a known quantity. You've all seen her play. You kind of know what she brings to the table. Maybe easier to get her into what you're doing here?
I think so, in particular for what we need her for. Again, it adds another downhill driver, another player that can play in the two-man. When you had, Sid and you had Ari on the floor, it took a little bit of pressure off of Kelsey to have to be the only one. And now Odyssey will do that same thing.
You talked about Caitlin starting full court running last week. Has she been able to do anything extra since then, or return to practice at all?
No return to practice. She's been able to get a little bit more in her full court running, with her all her body weight. It's really building up from doing minimal to then building some endurance to do longer periods of time. She's been able to do a little bit more on the court in terms of how she moves, but not into practice yet, no.
After all the changes of just injuries and different players, you guys have kept this together. A lot of teams might have just faltered, but what does this say about not just yourself and your coaches, but the people, the players who are playing for you, just what they've been able to do?
Just a high quality character group. They're resilient. They pull for one another. They don't get too high, they don't get too low, and they believe. And that's the most important thing. They've been through a lot. They've been incredibly resilient in terms of not just on the court production, but their attitudes, their energy. They bring it every day. And okay, yes, we feel awful for the ones who aren't able to play, but we feel really good about those who now get opportunity that might not have had opportunity had those guys been on the floor.
What was it like to see Lynn celebrated with everybody in midcourt?
That was great. Obviously Lynn is a pillar and a legend in our sport and in our game, and to be able to honor her in this way, and Amber said it, we really do stand on the shoulders of people like Lynn Dunn, and she is and always has been an inspiring a woman in our league, inspiring woman in our game and the history of women's sport. And so for us to be able to honor her is pretty incredible.
I'm sorry, honor, what did she?
She's won the Inspiring Woman Award, and then we're naming the Inspiring Woman Award after her moving forward. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.